Looking live at the operations floor at AccuWeather HQ. We're over here. This is where we have our experts. And I want to bring in our chief meteorologist, John Porter. Again, Mike Dahl. We'll be talking with Mike Dahl at 9:30. He made the call early this morning that this is a derecho. It's meet the criteria. We'll get to the criteria in a little bit here. But first, John, the real question is how long do we think this line is going to be maintained? We were looking at a couple of things. It appears as though there is some evidence that this may start to weaken in the next couple of hours.
That's right. I think the key point is, at least for the next couple of hours, we're going to be dealing with the risks for 70 to 75 mile per hour thunderstorm wind gusts. Thereafter, as it continues to truck across northern Illinois, there can be some gradual weakening. We'll be watching that. Still a dangerous setup here this morning.
What a month. Last 30 days, this is pretty unprecedented. Maybe not precedented, but certainly one of the longest stretches of severe weather that we've seen.
At least in the last 5 years. Oh, no doubt. And different all across the central and eastern part of the country.
Spread. It's like your water hose outside on spray.
And not in a good way.
And not in a good way. All right. Let's take the radar right now, because I'm going to get back in, take a little hop, skip, and a jump back into the operations area here. Out of the operations and into the studio here. There's the radar and there's the derecho that we continue to watch here as it moves eastward. And there it is. Okay, I'm going to stop this.
I just put it into motion for you.
Yeah, thank you. Do you have the derecho explainer?
I don't, but I can put it up.
Could you put that up? I want to get to that in a second here. But really quick, there's the damaging line of thunderstorms now, roughly from Dubuque all the way down toward Burlington, Illinois right now. And you can see within this line several segments where the thunderstorms are bowing out to the north and east. That's where we're getting the damaging winds. Now, in addition, we've seen this throughout the morning, that sections of this line, we've seen tornado warnings here. And what's happening is within this line of thunderstorms, and you can see these little notches, you see one here, you see one here, I see one here south of Davenport. So anywhere within this line of thunderstorms, you are going to have damaging wind gusts, and you're going to get isolated tornadoes. We're going to see wind gusts over 70 miles per hour. The strongest line appears to be right in here, now just east of Davenport. I've been showing this all morning, and I want to continue to do so. This is the correlation coefficient. You see this area of blue. This is where you have such strong winds out ahead of this thunderstorm complex that dust and debris is being lofted into the air, and that's that blue that you see right in here. You see that? That's what's going on. Now, we use the term derecho. Mike Dahl, one of our AccuWeather severe weather experts, made the call. We'll be talking with him at the bottom of the hour.
Yeah.
What is a derecho?
Yeah, and we're glad he was keeping eyes on this, because we saw damaging wind reports starting late last night, over 58 miles per hour. That's one of the criteria. You can see the bottom bullet there. Continuous winds of at least 58 miles per hour for at least 400 miles with a width of at least 60 miles. So there's a lot going on, a lot of criteria to meet this. But if we look back at just some of the storm reports over the last 12 hours, I want to take a look. I believe somewhere around here we had winds gusting, that one's 70 miles per hour, so well above that. So if we want to take that line from about that storm report, and then all of these storm reports within here have been 58 miles per hour or greater, and this has been a stretch of over 400 miles, and we're continuing to see that moving on through. And some of these winds well above 58 miles per hour. Look at this in Hartwell, 85 miles per hour. St. Louis, South Dakota, 76 miles per hour. And Bernie, unfortunately, Greenfield, Iowa, for people who may not remember, that was just the area hit so hard by at least an EF3 tornado from just Tuesday. Now they saw winds gusting up to 75 miles per hour.
With all that debris on the ground, that's
just a disaster.
I'm afraid of what it looks like here this morning. All right, thanks, Ariella. Let's take a look at the radar here. It's pouring in Rochester, Minnesota, by the way. Here's the radar. Let's take you out to Rochester, Minnesota here, where the rain is coming on down. You could see some ponding of the water on the road. Look at the cars there going through that all of the wet streets. And there, again, there is some ponding on the roadways here. Straight out to the radar, there's the heavier rain. Here is that derecho now in eastern parts of Iowa, and that continues to just barrel eastward. And that's the real question, is how far does it get before it starts to weaken? There is some evidence that the atmosphere is not conducive enough to maintain this derecho. Listen, for a derecho, you need a lot of energy in the atmosphere here. So we're going to watch this line. There is a severe thunderstorm watch because of this derecho that extends all the way towards Chicago till about 1 o'clock. So this gives you a sense of the timing, although usually with these derechos, they're faster, not slower. So let's continue to watch this. There is some suggestion that that line may lift a little farther to north. So there's the derecho, and here it is roughly at around 10 o'clock Central. So in an hour's time, it's near the Rockford area. Now, you'll notice this lifts northward. I'm going to stop it. Now, because this derecho went across northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin, I believe the severe weather will likely be over for you. I just do not believe this model that you have these strong thunderstorms back behind a derecho. That's not the way the atmosphere works. I am worried, though, where that derecho doesn't impact, and that's roughly maybe around Chicago on south. That's where to watch the thunderstorms. Look at those. And again, you're going to see the modeling coming in my way of thinking here over the next couple of hours. It'll adjust as that area comes through. Now, how can I be wrong? If that derecho just falls apart, then we'll have a different discussion. I don't think that's going to be the case. So again, that derecho will stabilize the atmosphere in northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin. Now, Chicago, Peoria, watch those thunderstorms. That's the area to watch, and you can see the modeling starting to go in that direction here. So that's the zone. When I look at the moderate area, think of this as this morning. This area in here, north of Chicago, Rockford, Madison, Milwaukee. Your severe weather threat here will be this morning and early this afternoon. Chicago on south, I think it's mid to late afternoon and into the evening hours. I think all forms of severe weather, but wind, damaging winds, isolated tornadoes. I suspect we're looking at several on the ground this afternoon. I don't think we're looking at dozens, but there could be several.